Is coming at you for another album review. This not album review. I'm sorry. TV show review for part 3 of the Supernatural season 7. Now, in the last one I did, I am sorry about the noise. Uh, my dogs were barking and going crazy because it was raining around my area, and I didn't really get to explain the end of season episode 6 episode, so it shows the Leviathan Dean before he dies, telling Sam that Dean actually killed your best friend Amy, the one that was killing people. And so Sam got pissed and left Dean and went on his own for hunts and all that. He's like, I need to be away from you because I'm really mad at you. And in this next one, they reunite again at this magician's town or whatever. Episode's called The Mentalist, episode 7. And they're trying to find out who's killing these magicians and fortune tellers and all that. So they have this festival going on there for that thing. And yeah, this episode is very good. I think it does explain at the end of it. Let me see the end of it. Sam's still pissed off and all that because he killed, Dean killed, Amy. And he's like, I get it, you're pissed, and you have every right to be. But don't act like a little bitch, is what he said. And I was like, ooh. I was like, damn. Put him in his place. And yeah. But overall, this episode is very good. They do find out who's the one that's killing these magicians, and he does actual real magic. So yeah. I was like, ugh. And yeah, they stop him. And it was kind of sick. He was sleeping with these dead bones or whatever. It was disgusting. For this chick who was once a fortune teller or a witch or something like that. But other than that, they saved the chick. One of them they were trying to save actually died. One of the chicks that was trying to live, who was freaked out by this fortune she saw, or vision she saw of her death, and she sadly died. So episode 7 is getting a 4.5 out of 5. I think it's okay. It's a good episode, just I think it does an okay job. Episode 8, season 7, Time for a Wedding. Now this one was honestly odd. It shows Sam marrying Becky, and I was like, oh god, no. Like that crazy chick. It was weird, and she was using this love potion that she's getting from this demon who's her dealer. And, it's like, oh, I can give it to you since I like, reunions and all that. And so, yeah. Dean actually meets Garth in this, a hunter that replaces Sam because Sam went off with Becky doing hunts and all that, and figuring out this ghost stuff that they're trying to do or something, or this demon that was killing off these people before their time. And yeah, Sam was not really happy with Becky because she drugged him. He was like, you drugged me, you're not supposed to do. He's like, you drugged me or whatever. And yeah, this episode, I'd give this a 4.5 out of 5 as well. At the end, it showed Becky made the right decision and just helped Sam to trap these demons and all that. The demon or other demon or whatever. And Crowley actually shows up, and he's not really happy with the demon that's doing these deals. It's like, we're supposed to stay off the radar. And he's like, uh, like, we've been busy. Crowley said something to them, but I forgot. And then Dean responded, we've been busy. He's like, hunting Leviathan. Yes, I know. He's like, you met that dick guy yet? He's like, he's an asshole. He's like, smite them all. But overall, at the end of it, it showed Garth, and he's like, what did I miss? Because Garth always got knocked out or whatever. And or something right when the good stuff's happening, he missed the whole thing. He's like, what did I miss? And Garth was actually, it was weird what Garth did at the end. He's like, thank you so much, that means a lot to me. And he just gave Dean a hug. He's like, okay, Garth. And Sam's like, oh, you got a little friend. It was funny, but yeah, episode 8's getting a 4.5 out of 5. Episode 9, How to Win Friends and Influence Monsters, I believe is what it's called. This is where they find out about Dick Roman, and they find out what they're doing. They're drugging they go to this town or whatever, where these people are just dumbified and just, they're more focused on eating their food than talking much. So it's like they're drugged out and pigged out and all that, and just don't care about anything. And this Ranger Rick or whatever was just like, he was just kind of being a weird douche or something. He's like, maybe I should call this in. It was actually funny. He was actually being a funny douche. But yeah, then Dean actually started eating these burgers or whatever, or this McChicken thing that's been in the food or whatever, and the meat at this Biggerson's place. So the Biggerson's is like, has kind of this stuff in it, in the food that the Leviathans made at the factory for the Biggerson's thing. So Dick Roman's just, I think he's poisoning the food or drugging the food with some kind of gray gooey stuff. It's really disgusting. Just makes them fat and or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, they do go and try to stop Dick Roman, and they find that Ranger Rick got killed when he said, I gotta call this in, by this monster or whatever. And then they kidnapped the monster, and when Bobby shot him, miraculously shot him by luck. It was a good shot. And this thing woke up when they brought it back, and then that's when Dean was eating one of those burgers, and he felt really fine. And he's like, oh, I feel fine. It's like, I feel fine, better than I did in months. And he's like, something about Cass, he said, and he's like, I don't care, because I don't care. It was kind of funny. And they find out what Dean's eating, and they put it down and all that, and they find out what's in the food. He's like, if I wasn't in a good mood right now, I would probably throw up at that, but I was like, oh my god. Yeah, Dean was acting like a funny douche as well. And then they go to the factory where Dick Roman and Edgar and all that are, and the doctor as well from the episode 3 is when he was at the Sioux Falls Hospital. The doctor's there at the Biggerson's place, and Dick already knows that he screwed up and everything, and he's like, oh, I can fix this and everything. He's like, yeah, you can. And then he gives him this bib, and he's like, you're bibbing me? He's got to eat himself, the doctor, because he knows he screwed up, and yeah, he ate himself. And Bobby was like trying to put them on video or listen to their conversation. That way they find out what's going on and what they're up to and what their plan is, and all that, because there's some end game towards the Leviathans. They have an end game. They just want to find out what it is. And Bobby gets kidnapped and by one of the Leviathans, the security guards, who's the Leviathan, and is brought to Dick Roman. And Sam and Dean have to go rescue him. And Dick Roman's just talking to Bobby, bullshitting. He's like, "Oh, you gonna eat me or whatever?" He's like, "Nope." He's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna eat you, Bob." He's like, "But I like my meals prepared." And that's where I think Sam and Dean come in, or something happens, and then they get what is it? I'm trying to think. They get break in and pour this some kind of bleach stuff or whatever that they're doing, and then they what is it? It kind of burns them or whatever. Can't remember what it was called. But yeah, it does burn them, and then Bobby miraculously found out what they were up to, and he stopped. He had to hurry back to Sam and Dean's car, and he's like, "Go, go, go!" And that's where Dick Roman comes out and shoots with his pistol or whatever. So it shows Bobby looking like he's gonna die, and a bullet in his head or whatever, or Custer. So they have to rush him to the hospital, Sam and Dean. And at the end of the episode, it shows Bobby. They're saying, "Bobby, Bobby." So they're really upset. Fine. And episode 9 is getting a 5 out of 5. Episode 10. This is going to be the last one I'm doing for this video. Episode 10 is Death's Door. This is where Bobby's in a coma, and they're at the hospital where they gotta try to see if they can save him or whatever. And yeah, Bobby's just living through his memories and all that, through his past and his whole life, seeing his whole life flash before his eyes. So he's living through his greatest hits and the stuff he did, and this Reaper's like, "You've done enough, Bobby. It's time to go." And Bobby's just refusing to. He's like, "I gotta tell Sam and Dean that." And Rufus is helping him out as well, and he's like, "The only way to go see him is to get through your worst fears." And Bobby miraculously does, and goes through that door real quickly, and gives Sam and Dean the numbers that they need, and his last words were "idiots." And yeah, Dick Roman showed up, and Dean was pissed and all that, so I think Dick Roman didn't come out of his car. He just stood there and watched. He's like, "I'll see you soon." And he's like, "We're coming for you, Dick. So be ready." And yeah, sadly, Bobby died. That was a really sad episode. And it showed the Reaper at the end of the episode. He's like, "Well, Bobby, what's it gonna be? Stay or go?" And it shows Bobby staring at him through his eyes or whatever, when the camera turns to him, and just closes after that. This episode is getting a 5 out of 5 as well. And that is going to be it for this review for part 3. I'll be back at you for another part sometime in a little bit. But I'll see you in the next video. Comment below if you like this video or not. And stay tuned for part 4.